Hello, Dad here. I am just coming down Vital Link Trail, which is off of Wildwood Canyon in Burbank. It's Saturday, 15th of September, 2018. According to the map, it's only a mile as you go follow the straight path. There's a lot of switchbacks. It's fairly steep, and so it took me, I'm guessing, about an hour to get up that mile. I'm heading back down, and I anticipate when I'm all done, when I get back down to where I connected to the trail, and then I'm going to turn northeast. By the time I get back to my wife's van, it'll probably be a total of almost 3 miles. And it's actually kind of a pretty day. I've got to be in San Fernando Valley of Southern California. It's a nice day for it. And seems like I do a lot of my thinking while I'm hiking or working out or stuff like that. And it made me think when I was coming up that, sorry, I gotta keep looking down so I don't trip as I'm going down. When I was a kid, my brother and I, Ed, we went to Camp Pendleton, and a program that the Marine Corps Reserve has for young men and older boys called Devil Pups. And part of that, we did an overnight bivouac. We went up a mountain they called Old Smoky at Camp Pendleton. And again, I was never a Marine. I was only a Devil Pup. But it was a little bit steep. I remember it was steep, hot, and dusty. And it was very dusty because a bunch of little kids, going up this mountain trail, kicking up dirt and dust and rocks, and these Marines gently encouraging us to continue so we didn't fall out. And that was one of my thoughts, and seemed like it was almost as steep. And then I'm not sure if it was that same year or a different year. I think we went twice. We went to an area called Horno area, and we were there to watch the 105's fire, and I think that was the same area, maybe close by, where we went and watched night fire exercises, which was pretty impressive. But when we were marching into Horno area, we were going by these buildings, and there were some bushes that were off to my left. And I was kind of looking around. I've always had kind of a thing for situational awareness. And I saw a couple of Marines. They were hiding in the bushes. They wanted to jump up and surprise the kids and show us all how sneaky the Marines could be. But I looked at them and I kind of stared. I was like, huh? And this one guy, he just kind of smiled and put his fingers up, don't, kind of like saying, don't ruin my fun. So I didn't. It was fun. I enjoyed that. Then they jumped up, and all these other kids that weren't expecting it had a good little scare. So that was fun. And of course, got me thinking about a lot of other things. Oh, that's not good for shadows, is it? Oh well. since I don't edit my stuff, I'll just keep going. I was thinking about my old mission president, J. Bruce Smart, from Bountiful, Utah. What a good man. I will always hold him dear to my heart. Very, very special man. He had some very bad eyesight. They were damaged when he was a kid. His dad kept a dam for some municipality or company, and there was a tremendous lightning storm one time, and unfortunately in this lightning storm his dad died, and there was lightning and went through the house, and it damaged his hearing and his eyes. But a very, very good man. I remember hearing him talk about how he used to work, I think it was for Kennecott Copper. I'm not exactly sure in what capacity he held, whether it was some sales or a managerial position. But he was just called by the Lord to be a mission president over the Leeds, England mission. And the business where he worked at, I'm not sure whether they knew he had his call. It's not something that most people look forward to, but you know, he was a good man. He had consecrated his life, and he was a man of integrity. And the company that he worked for offered him a promotion, and he had to respectfully turn it down and request a leave of absence. And they weren't real kind to that. They told him that if he left, you know, he's welcome to come back because he was a very good employee and good with people. But if he ever, when he came back, he should expect to never ever expect a promotion offer again. And so, you know, it just shows that when you do the right thing and you do what you can to serve God and to help the kingdom grow and prepare the world for the second coming of Christ, and to build people's testimony and faith in Christ, that life isn't always smooth sailing. And I don't know why it's interesting in our society. I mean, I don't like to suffer. Nobody likes to suffer. But a lot of people think that nonstop pleasure is what is to be expected out of life. And if something doesn't go their way, they will have a fit, or they'll melt down. Or if there's a struggle that comes into their life, they will think that somehow they're being punished. You know, oh, you know, what's this? You know, is this negative karma in my life for doing something wrong or not entirely correct? Well, you know, get over yourself. Sometimes things just happen. Now, I hate to say it, but unfortunately, a lot of times, a lot of life is about pain, it's about suffering, and it's about learning to trust and to have faith and to do your best to get by and make the best out of life, regardless of our circumstances. And we've had our fair share throughout the years. But it's, a lot of it is just, getting over yourself and enjoying life when you can. And as your attitude changes, so does your perception of what's happening to you. And you're coming across a fellow here. Is only the third guy I've seen on the trail today. It's a very good afternoon. It's been a very lightly traveled trail today. It's actually my first time up Vital Link Trail. It's a little bit to the south of the Stowe Nature Center, Wildwood Canyon. When I was a little kid, I used to go up to a day camp up there. And I was actually kind of hesitant to come back. I wasn't sure what to expect. But it's very pretty. I think the Burbank Parks and Recs Department, in spite of the corruption of a lot of the city fathers and mothers, have done a nice job. One of the other things I don't particularly, I'm not proud of this, but I'm thinking about my mission president, was when I was on my mission. This would have been in December of 1979. I had been out on my mission about 10 months. And I had received word, or actually I was called by my mission president to report to the mission office and ASAP. And at first I was thinking, okay, what now? I haven't done anything. Well, all right. So I went and got word that my dad had died. And I'm not very proud of my reaction, because my dad had a problem with alcoholism and some other things. The first thing out of my mouth, and I was rather tersely said, "Oh, was he drunk?" And poor President Smart, he just looked at me with such compassion and empathy, and it was almost like, "Really, dude?" No, he didn't say that. It was, and we sat there, and he told me that, yeah, my dad unfortunately had committed suicide, and just sat there for a little while until I could work up the courage to start to grieve and to mourn and to have a good cry. And really, it took me several years to understand that my reaction wasn't the most appropriate. There's a lot of things my dad had done that left a bitter taste in my mouth about a lot of things. But I still loved him. And here come some more people, and I'm about out of time. But I'm going to sign off, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for spending time with Dad. Bye-bye.